Hey, Team Taco, Trump supporters, look, I'm going to show you a magic trick, all right? Well, I mean, spoiler alert, it ain't really magic, but it's going to seem like magic to you, okay? Everybody's got this ability, though. You can do it, too, if you practice up on it. It's this thing that anybody can do where you can remove your head from your own ass and you can actually look at life from a different perspective. You can look at a situation from somebody else's point of view. You can do that. Yeah, I do it all the time. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's entertaining, what it is. See, like if I'm up at the grocery store, groceries. That's that word that Donald F. and Trump learned that he thought was an old-timey word. It's just a word we all use. It's grocery store. But anyway, if I'm up at the grocery store and I see a black woman with a buggy full of groceries there, I'm looking, you know what I'm doing? I'm inventorying that buggy right there is what I'm doing. I'm inventorying up and I'm looking at them like that right there. Looks like she's got a bunch of pinto beans and she's got some fresh collard greens right there and a cornbread mix and some ham hocks and some neck bones. She's got everything in there and bacon. She's got it all in that buggy right there. And I'm like, that right there looks like I want to go eat at her house. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at that buggy and say, that right there is going to be a jam up meal. That woman's having a cookout and I ain't invited. I want to go, I'll high five her is what I'll do. I'll high five and say, hey, pounds, not ounces, eat up, That's what I'll do. Y'all can't do that. You can't do it. You'll look at that same woman and be pissed off. I mean, just smoke coming out of your ears, pissed off, because you're like, that right there is my damn tax dollars right there. That woman, the only reason why she's got food in her buggy is my $31 a year that I spend on food stamps. That right there is the reason why. The reason why I'm suffering so damn bad is because that woman has got groceries in her buggy. But you don't know nothing about her at all. That's just the assumption you immediately jump on right there. Just be pissed off at that woman for eating. That's it. But anyway, like I said, I mean, I have the ability to put myself in somebody else's shoes, kind of look at it from a different perspective. I don't hate on them because of it, And look, I even did it for y'all just a few weeks ago. I tried to walk a mile in y'all's shoes, but just a few weeks ago. I dang short. Now look, I only made it 3/4 of a mile, if I'm being honest, but I did try, okay? I blew a head gasket. That's what happened. I got almost all the way there, but then I started trying to brainwash myself with the Fox faking news. Couldn't do it. Blew a head gasket. I had to stop, y'all. Had to climb out that MAGA hole before I got too deep. I couldn't get out. I knew what was coming. I was like, I've seen what happens to these people. You get down in that hole just a little too far. There's a straw down there in the hole. What happens? It goes into your ear, sucks your brains out. And I'm like, I ain't getting down there where that straw's at. So I climbed out. But anyway, I did try. I did try. But the thing is, I struggle trying to put myself in some of y'all's shoes. Like farmers. I can't do farmers at all. I've tried to do farmers and I can't do it. That's a tough one right there. You can't get in their head. I think them suckers are locked up tighter than Dick's hat band is what it is. You can't get in a farmer's head because, look, I understand 2016. I do. I understand why they went out there and voted for Donald F. and Trump in the 2016 election. I get that right there because, look, they saw him up there on that debate stage and they was like, well, there's Donald F. and Trump, and there's 17 politicians up there on that stage, and that's a businessman right there. That is one corrupt-ass businessman, and that's what we need running this country is a corrupt-ass businessman. And plus, you got a bonus, because he looked at those 17 politicians, and he said, I know that every single one of these people are corrupt, and I know it to be a fact, because I'm one of them that spent my whole career corrupting them, buying them off, doing bribes, all that stuff. I did it, and everybody cheered and said, we definitely want that corrupt son of a bitch running our government. We don't want corruption in our government. No, sir. We want the guy that's actually been corrupting our government to run our government. So everybody cheered and said, that right there sounds like the smart thing to do, including the farmers. So they went out there and voted for his dumb ass in 2016. Bankrupted him. He bankrupted them. I mean, that was a bad decision. They knew it. They knew it right off the rip when he started his trade war and they couldn't sell their soybeans or nothing no more. Bankrupted them. Bunches and bunches of them. I mean, destroyed small family farms all over the country. And then they turned around and got up on the TVs and the social medias and they said, well, we don't want a bailout, but we need a bailout. We don't want one. Look, we want to be farmers, okay? We don't want to be bailouters. We want to be farmers. We want to earn our keep. We want to earn that money right there. We don't want bailouts. We want to be farmers, But they did take the $35 billion bailout, They did do that. And Then they spent the next 4 years under Joe Biden, and they was thriving. Their farms were doing good. They was selling their soybeans. They was selling stuff from all over the world, doing really, 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 really good. But they saw just how terrible of a human being that Donald Trump behaved as while he wasn't pretending to be president no more, out there just criming it up, stealing classified documents, getting, charged with rape and E. Jean Carroll there. 34 felony charges for screwing a porn star to try to hide his misdeeds during the 2016 election, all the things that he did. And they're like, you know what? That Donald F. Trump's a good dude right there. He may have bankrupted us. He may have did that. He may have did it. He may have did it, but look at all the criming that he did, and that right there is what we need in a president. So I'm going to go out there and vote for him again. They did vote for him in 2020. Luckily for them, he lost, but they got him over the finish line. Him and those Christian nationalists got him over the finish line in 2024. And now they're bankrupt again. Go figure. They're all damn bankrupt again. And they're saying, we don't want a bailout, but God, please give us a bailout. Give us a bailout. So, like I said, I can't get in that brain bucket. It's like it's locked up tighter than Dick's hat band. It has to be. I can't get in there and figure that one out. Why would you do it again? I see animals do stupid stuff like that, do something stupid and then turn around and do it again. But those are animals, like dogs and stuff, not human beings. So anyway, they went and did it again. The only thing I can figure is they secretly want the bailouts. They're like, look, if we vote for Donald F. Trump, we can bankrupt ourselves and then get free money from the government. Some of them socialisms that we complain about all the time, we can get that because we can pretend like, well, we have to. We ain't got no choice. We have to take the socialisms, That's the only thing I can figure. Yeah, that's got to be it. That's got to be it. And then there's more farmers than just them. There's other farmers out there. They got strawberries and all kind of stuff out there growing. And the farmer and his wife are sitting there in their kitchen there on their plantation, looking out there on their farm, and they see all their migrant workers that they're paying pennies on the dollar to go out there and pick all their fruits and vegetables. And they're like, man, I sure am thankful that we've got these brown immigrants out here that were basically enslaving for pennies on the dollar to pick all of our fruits and vegetables. Hey, but you know what would be a good idea, Martha? You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to vote for that Donald F. Trump. You know why? Because I hate brown people, and he's doing mass roundups is what he's going to do, mass roundups. And that makes me feel warm and tingly inside whenever I see people being harassed and rounded up and babies separated from their mommies and stuff. It makes me feel real good because I'm a hateful son of a bitch inside. I got a black heart. So anyway, I'm going to vote for Donald F. Trump because I don't like the brown people while they're looking out their window at the brown people out there picking their fruits and vegetables. Then they turn around, they get on the TVs and the social medias and say, Donald F. Trump, man, I can't run my farm. I'm going to go bankrupt. All my crops are just going to go out there and die in the field because I ain't got nobody to pick them. Why'd you come round up and run off all my workers out there? You wasn't supposed to come after me. You supposed to come after the other people. I can't figure them people out either, okay? Other than the fact that they're that hateful and self-centered. Hey, as long as it affects somebody else and not me, I'm okay with it. But when the rooster comes home to roost, I'm a little ticked off about it. But hey, I still can't quit my Donald Trump. Can't do that because he's still punishing other people, and that makes me feel good. I can't quit you, Mr. Trump. That's the way they are. See, I can't get in their head either. There's something wrong with it. So anyway, so they're wanting some socialisms too. They want their cake and eat it too as well, So I can't get in their heads. And then there's the bigger, even larger group of y'all out there that I can't figure you out. You and your damn socialisms. I'm hating on your socialisms while you're loving on your socialisms. Y'all get a lot of socialisms out there is what you do. You get a ton of socialisms out there in rural America. You don't want to admit it, but you do. It's just the way that it is. You know why? You ain't got no opportunities out there. It's rural America. There ain't nothing out there. It's just dirt and rocks. I know whenever you look at a map and you're like, I don't know how the Democrats keep winning. These are just little blue dots on this map, but look at all the sea of red around them. Hey, it's because dirt and rocks don't vote. Land don't vote. People do. And all them blue dots you're seeing, those are people, millions of people in those cities. That's what, but you hate cities that you pretend to care about when you pretend to care about the people that live in the cities that you know nothing about and the cities you know nothing about. And then you pretend to care about the crime that goes on in those cities just because you want to hate on people that live in cities. But see, at the same time you're doing that, you're also saying them Democrats are just lazy and they're on the government tit. All of them on the government tit with the handouts, what they're doing in them blue cities. Hey, I don't know if you're aware of what a city is. Have you ever looked at one, actually? It's full of buildings, industry. Yeah, I mean industry. It's all over the place. There's shops and restaurants and big industry, small industry. It is full of it. And You know what it takes to run those industries? People. It takes people to do that. Yeah, that's why them people that are there in that city, you know what they're doing every day? Going to their jobs. That's what they're doing. They're going to their jobs inside those cities to make those cities run. Them cities can't run themselves. So whenever you're saying, hey, I hate them lazy Democrats, we're the only ones that work out here, they ain't working. No, they're working. They have to, but otherwise them cities wouldn't exist. You see what I'm saying? Now out there in rural America where there's no opportunities, you're not working. Okay. You're not, because you don't have any opportunities. The opportunities are in the cities. And I think that pisses you off is what it is. Projection. That's what it's called. It's called that projection. Now, what you could do, though, is pick yourself up from the bootstraps. Walk your ass to a city. Go look for some opportunities rather than bitch at people that live in cities because they're out there working. Then you're saying they're not. But they are. At the same time, you're hating on the socialisms that you're receiving. It's like that universal health care that you don't know nothing about. You know not one thing about universal health care other than that right there, some socialisms, and I hate me some socialism. That's because you've been brainwashed by right-wing media and people like Sean Hannity and Rush Limbaugh for literally a generation because you think that's news. It's not. It's opinion. It's entertainment. But you've been brainwashed by it. Here's the thing with your socialisms that you hate so much, that you love so much because you get so much of it. Let me ask you a question. You ever flown on an airplane? Have you? Commercial plane. I mean, 290 passengers on that plane right there. Do you know why that plane ticket for a 400-mile trip only cost you $150 rather than $50,000? The $50,000 that it cost to actually fly that plane that distance? Because of all the things that's involved in that, the fuel, the maintenance, the ground crew, the airport, everything. It's going to cost them $50,000 to make that 400-mile flight. You know why it only cost you $150? Because there's 289 other people on there splitting that cost with you. That's why. There's just some socialisms in some capitalisms. That's how it works. Hey, why do you think that Walmart's got those low prices? More the same. That's what it is. It's collectiveness. It's all of us pulling our money together, and the millions of people that shop at the Walmarts allows Walmart to buy in bulk. That's what it is. Because of millions of people participating, Walmart can get things cheaper and sell it to us cheaper right there. That's how socialisms work. That's how the socialisms work. See, you're already doing it. You just don't know it. It's under the guise of capitalism. It's reverse socialism. It's socialism for the rich, for the corporations. That's what we're doing all the time to make things cheaper for us. We do it at the Amazons. We do it everywhere. The financial section. Everywhere you look, you're doing some form of socialism, whether you know it or not. It's the same thing. See? And that's what the universal health care is. See, right now what you're doing is you're taking your money and you're giving it to private health insurance companies is what you're doing. And you know what they do with 83 cents on every dollar? They give it to shareholders, CEOs, and executives. That's what they do. And then they take the remainder of that and they might spend it on your health care. That might be what they do with it. Maybe. So you've got all these corporations, these insurance corporations out there that's taking your hard-earned money and giving it to themselves and then spending pennies on the dollar on your actual health care. Hey, and guess what else they do with that? They go to the hospitals. This is what you call organized crime. That's how insurance companies got started to begin with. Hey, you got a fine business over there. Man, it looks like you're doing pretty good. Look, tell you what. You give me 10% of your earnings every week, I'll make sure your business don't burn down. That's how they got started right there. That right there is called the mafia. That's how it got started. Well, what them insurance companies do is they go to the hospitals and things and they say, look here, I know that you could do this here procedure for $100. Don't do that. Don't make it to where somebody can afford it. How about do it for $1,000? That way they can't afford it. You see what I'm saying there? Hospital, do it for $1,000. That way they can't afford it. All right. That way they have to come to us for the insurance. Then we'll pay you your fee. And then you can kick us back 40%. We'll kick you back 40%. They negotiate. They outprice the consumer to force people into insurance. That's what they do. That's what they do. And you love just giving your money up to these corporations so that they can make themselves rich and not give you the health care treatment that you need. See, the same reason why that you're paying $150 for that plane ticket is because everybody's pulling their money together is exactly how universal health care works. Millions of people pulling their money together. You know what that gives you? Bargaining power. Then you can start negotiating prices with these hospitals for your drug prices, for all of that stuff. You're just pulling your money together to get everything cheaper, just like you do at the Walmarts and on the Deltas. See, the same thing. It's the same thing. The only thing is, it's being did by that big bad government. You know who the government is? The people, it's us, yeah. It's being done by us. Yep, that big bad us right there is administering our own health care, and we're getting better health care for cheaper. No co-pays, none of these expensive ass premiums, all this stuff. You can go into the emergency room, they can fix you right up, and you leave without a bill. Ain't that awesome? That's what the universal health cares are that you've been programmed to hate so much. You know why? That there's like 31 other countries out there that's got universal health care? Because there's not 32, because we don't do it. The other 31 are doing just fine with it. We're the only ones that don't do it because we've got a brainwashed population of people who believe that socialism's bad while you're out there in rural America collecting up on your socialism and then accusing and bitching at everybody else that you think might be getting a little socialism, that you think your tax dollar might be going out there to help because they don't look like you or talk like you. All right. So anyway, I just want to let you know, I do try to put myself in your perspective. I try to look at things from your point of view, and you farmers and all that. I can't do it. Like I said, I can't do it. Them brains are just locked up too tight for me, but I do try from time to time. All right. Inmate Trump.